How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and we are actually on Anime Crusaders today. Now, I didn't do a review for when the game first came out, but I have been playing a pretty decent amount. We just look at how many units I have here. Like, I still don't have a Crusader. You know, actually, let me check how many trait rerolls I've used. Okay, I've only spent 872. I don't know what the pity is. I have the new Crusader unit. I have Sid, Ghetto, you know, I have Law, Nagu. Like, I have everything I basically need for right now, at least. Just, you know, don't have a Crusader, which kind of sucks, but that is what it is. And today we are going to review update 1, which was a Demon Slayer update. I don't know how they got the rights to, like, all these models and stuff. I don't know if they have a contract or something. You know, with all the DMCA going on, with all these anime games, I'm kind of surprised this update came out. But I think it was good timing for, you know, Demon Slayer getting that movie Infinity Castle, which was pretty decent, I would say, or it was fun to watch at least. So, you know, the hype's kind of back. This was a pretty solid topic to base the update off of. Everything else in this update, especially on release, it's been like a week now, almost a week. On release specifically, it was really bad. I was playing Anime Rangers X at the time, like because they both kind of dropped their updates at the same time. When I was playing, like a couple hours later, the bugs were prominent. Okay, so we're gonna go over everything. I'll go over mostly all the units, but I'm gonna try to go over some bugs I encountered, just what I think could have been improved in this update, because while I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, it left me a little disappointed, and especially with how much you have to grind, it can be a real pain. So let's get started. So starting off, we got 12 new units, which is a pretty decent amount. One of these units is a Crusader unit, which is a new rarity, and this is going to be the Akaza versus Rengoku unit. You get this by evoing Akaza, which is a banner unit, Enmo, which is a banner unit that, like, Mugen Train villain, whatever, Daki, another banner unit, Giyu, banner unit, Tanjiro banner unit, and we also got Tengen, which is a secret from a portal, and I'm gonna go over why I don't like how you get them in a second. You can probably already guess why. But we got two other units from Infinity Castle, Sweet Witch and Uryo. I don't know who those are, but we also got Kentu for the tournament, and Lloyd, which is another farm unit, which I actually see myself using more in like wave 20 modes. I guess a new farm unit is nice as well. But I did mention I was going to go over Tengen, but let's just go over the Crusader unit. If I go to Evo Akaza, like, I'm lucky enough to have the Crusader version, but dude, I spent so long grinding for this unit. This is inhumane amounts of time that you need to spend to get a unit that is honestly barely better than somebody like Sid or, you know, top of the line secrets, right? Obviously, he's still gonna be better in ways. He's gonna do more damage, all that stuff. But honestly, like, with how much you have to grind, it makes the player wonder, is this even worth my time? Like, I already have Sid, like, what else do I need, right? But if we just look at the requirements here, like, first of all, you need a Blazing Heart, which you get from one of the legend stages of the new Demon Slayer map, and you would think this has a pity, but it does not. It's a 2% drop chance. I believe it's from Act 3 or something of the legend stage. I'll correct that if it's wrong, but this doesn't have a pity for some reason. I think it's already nice that most of the other things in this game have pity, but why doesn't the Blazing Heart? Because every once in a while, I go into the Anime Crusaders Discord server, I look in general, and I still see people saying, like, over 100 runs, I don't have a Blazing Heart, and all this, like, it's sad. Like, this should be a pity of at least, like, 50. Probably 50. 50 is a good pity spot, I believe. Don't worry, that's not it. We also have a flame sword you need, which I think I have an extra one. Or, yeah, here. You have to complete 50 legend stages with Akaza. You have to evolve 3 of the Demon Slayer units. This, in of itself, the fact is, if you're, like, really unlucky, you'll be in these legend stages for way longer than 50. But then you have to sacrifice 3 evoed mythics, which is, I mean, I use, like, 2 of the solo leveling units. This wasn't, like, that bad, but it costs a lot of materials, dude. And don't even get me started with 75 of these Eternal Vow bracelets or whatever. You also need these for Tengen. I don't have Tengen yet. You probably know why, but 75 of these, aren't these bracelets specifically for Tengen? Like, why does Akaza need them? Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, but 75 is insane. But you might be wondering, how do you actually get 75 of these bracelets? With the new Demon Slayer maps and stuff, there was an infinite mode. And in this infinite mode, you're going to get portals every couple waves or whatever. I don't know what the chances are. Apparently, I'm pretty sure the chances were bugged when the update came out as well. But it's just like the law portals. You get the portal and you complete it. You have a guaranteed chance to get, it's like 2 to 4 bracelets, I think, per portal. And that's it. You have to constantly keep doing infinite, hope you get a good amount of portals each run, and then hope you get lucky with the amount of bracelets you get. And then the rest of the materials, like these crystals specifically, they're from the legend stages. If we look here, we'll go to the legend stage. To make things easier in the future, just make all of these crystals on Act 3, okay? There's no reason these need to be spread out between every single legend stage to grind 1 to 2 of each, because it's so inefficient. It takes so much longer to evo units. And it's not like the Blazing Heart is in Act 1 or 2 either. So again, you're going to just be farming legend stages until you die, basically. Now, moving back to the infinite portals real quick, this is how you get Tengen. And then as an example, Law takes 50 portals to guarantee him. 50 is a lot, but Tengen takes 110. I've only done 26. For reference, it took me about like probably 25, maybe 23 portals to get enough bracelets to Evo Akaza. And I still need more bracelets on top of 75 to even Evo Tengen if I get them. And I'm not even close to pity. 110 pity is way too much. I keep it to 50. If Law's 50, why is Tengen more than double the amount of pity? That's what I don't get. There's no reason for these units to be as grindy as they are. I feel like we could have cut back a little bit. Like, just at least a little bit. When it comes to Tanjiro's Evo item, this is also like a big grind. Not as bad as, again, the Crusader unit or Tengen, to be honest. But people were saying that this Reach Wave 50 in Demon District Infinite was bugged because it was only displaying like Tanjiro or something and not saying that you also need to use Gyu. But I don't know where people were seeing this because like I saw clearly that you needed Tanjiro and Gyu on your team to do this. Again, I'm not sure where this was being displayed, but I guess people were misreading or something. But like, I think this amount of grind for a unit is reasonable. Like when it comes to a Crusader or something, of course, it could be a little more than this because this is pretty tame, to be honest. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, you've had to do so many legend stages this update that it really just promotes macroing. Every ATD game is going to have macros, but I feel like at least for me, when it came to the first 2 updates, like, you know, the release update and update 0.5, I still found myself like actually playing the game a little more and having fun and not really being forced to use a macro. Obviously, it's going to help a lot. This update specifically is just too draining and really just forces the player to think like, all right, you know what, I'm just putting on the macro. And I guess I should mention with Tengen again that apparently he was hybrid on release. And again, I don't have him, I can't show it. But then he got nerfed to only be a ground unit, which is kind of unfortunate. I get they're trying to balance everything properly, but like it kind of does suck when a unit you think is gonna be really good just instantly gets gutted to a ground unit, which obviously isn't bad, but it changes a lot of if the unit's worth using or not. And then his damage eventually got nerfed. And yeah, this was just very unpolished, this update specifically, especially when the game got delayed by 2 days. When it comes to new game modes though, we did get Infinity Castle. Look, I've only done 1. I don't know if I have gameplay of that. I need to grind a little more. I've been trying to get the Akaza Evo, and that's taken up like all my time playing this game. But I mean, Infinity Rooms or Castle, this is in like a lot of anime tower defense games. This isn't anything special, but it's another thing to grind, I guess. I'm kind of neutral on this. Just going to increase in difficulty as you go up and you get rewards. It is what it is. When it comes to this game mode though, you can also choose if you want to play with traits or traitless, and this actually determines the different leaderboards and stuff. But I don't know if it gives you rewards for, you know, going up to wave 75 on traits and then gives you another batch of rewards going up to wave 75 or floor 75 with traitless. I'm not sure about that, and I have to grind this more, but I guess that's a cool little feature. And I guess that's really all I can go over. I tried to go over some other bugs. I mean, the only thing off the top of my head that I actually experienced was when the game dropped. Doing infinites, no gems were dropping in that as well. So another reason making them not worth doing, or just the return rate in doing them was so low. I guess later on the game got patched and now our units go up to level 60. Interesting. I'm assuming they're just going to do that every like couple updates. But if I had to suggest anything, please stop making the first unit in your slot like equip a cosmetic. Like if I equip Law, it just auto puts a cosmetic on, and I appreciate all the detail. I think the models look pretty good. I like the cosmetics. I like the effort that's put into stuff like this, even cutscenes for like Akaza and Rengoku. But please let me take these cosmetics off, dude. I like to have them on sometimes, but that doesn't mean I want to have them on all the time. And I just realized I think tournaments were supposed to be added, but they're being added next week, apparently, I think. But again, I guess the main takeaway is this is just way too grindy for what you actually get. Because even though I like how they're going with, like, you know, steady power creep, it's not like, again, Anime Rangers X, how it's been the past couple updates. I know that's a pretty drastic example. I guess I'm glad the units are just, they're not being completely power crept, but still, there just needs to be a good balance of how much the units are being power crept and how long it actually takes to get the newer units, because this was way too long for the new Crusader unit. It takes too long to get Tengen. That pity should be lowered for sure. And yeah, that's probably my stance on this update. Could have been way worse, I think, but again, with all the bugs in the beginning, it demotivates a lot of players to even getting back on, at least for a while. It sucks when the game is launched like that or the updates launch like that. And I think in the future, as long as they just, you know, maybe tone down the grind a little, at least for like higher level units. Like, I'm not saying it needs to be super easy, but this was just way too much. So I'm going to end the video there. Let me know what you guys think of this update, if you're still playing this game or if you're going to try it out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.